let me show you how to turn this into this. Well, here we are again. I'm trying to finish the detailed wiring, getting my Aston Installations HD infotainment upgrade installed in my car. In the last video, I sort of jilted you and I only got you halfway through the wire dressing and the detail install. So without further ado, let's pick up where we left off. Well, it's go time and it's time to do all the detailed wire dressing. I'm over here in the footwell and you can see essentially what we're going to be dealing with. I've got the main harness coming from the center console that rotates down. I've fitted a rear parking camera, so I have that harness hanging out here as well, so I have to deal with all the ends of this. I have the two tails from the camera, the HD screen that come down, the main communication connector, and the HDMI. I've already fitted my M.O.S.T connection, so you can see I have it oriented this way. I have the fiber optic cables neatly bundled up there, and I have fitted a tie wrap in through two holes that were in the frame, and I've just basically got it all carefully tucked in here. There's my reset switch. And I put a little label there that says what it is, so you know, maybe the next owner or whatever would understand. There's the power harness going through, and up here I've already fitted my front parking camera, and there was a lot of excess wires, so you can see I've anchored that up here. Use some of my zip tie mounts and some soft things. I've labeled it as well, and I have the microphone line coming down. So down here we can see everything. There's the mic, there's all the connections for the front parking camera, the HD, the multimedia module, the Bluetooth and Wi-Fi antennas, the M.O.S.T connections here, and then I've done something to organize all the lines that come off the multimedia connector. All the signal lines I have bundled up, and I've made a little cardboard zip tie mount frame to kind of keep them all spaced out so I can handle them as a set. And I'm going to have a little segment towards the end of this video so I can show you how to make that cardboard thing if you want. I've also done the same for all the power connections, and you'll see me put this into place, and I have a little zip tie here that I'm going to use to hang it from the power cord right there. So my power connections will be low. All my signal connections are going to terminate up in this area, and they'll be high. And there's just the tail of the USB connection and the power for the M.O.S.T connection. So time to stop talking about it and time to go to the time lapse and put it all in. So I'm going to make the two wiring spacers that you saw in the video. Basically I took a flap of the cardboard box that Aston Installations sent me the kit in, and we'll do the top one first. So basically it's a 4-inch piece by 3/4 of an inch piece, and I'll cut in a photo here of the actual spacing of the dimensions for the holes. And you can see here I planned out that I was going to have the switch, the screen, the multimedia module, and the M.O.S.T module. And what's going to go on is we're going to put a couple of holes into the cardboard so a tie wrap can go in and trap the wire. Pretty easy. Then I just took a center punch for woodworking, but you could use a nail or anything to just sort of pre-punch the holes that the zip ties are going to go through. And this is the one that will be used to hang it. So somebody with a 3D printer could probably make one of these out of some plastic. That'd be pretty good. So this top hole, this is the one that is going to be used to hang it from the battery cable that you'll see me in the car. And then all the rest of them are take it, sleeve it down, sleeve it back up. And then, you know, you can see how it'll work here. And that's what'll hold your cables. So you'll just do that with little tie wraps for the remainder of them. Take it over to the car, or you could pre-do your harness this way like I did, so then it's ready to use in the car itself. So that's the one for the power cables. The same process is what we're going to do for the, this is for the signal cables, all the camera feeds, the joystick controls. Again, here's all the dimensions, and I'll cut in a photo here. And the process is exactly the same, except just a slightly different technique that I'm going to suggest you follow. So you might think this is sort of an extravagance, but you see how quickly I can knock this out. So it's cheap and easy. So what's different about this one is we're going to use each hole for 2 tie wraps. So we're going to put our first tie wrap mount in for the first wire, because we really have 7 wires we're going to trap here. And you'll push that through, pull that through, and that's ready sort of to go for the first one. And we're going to use that same hole. So we have the head of the next one in there, and bring it up. Because we have smaller space, but we also have much smaller wires in the power harness. And so you see the idea, and you just stick the head through that hole, do the next one, and you end up with 7 wires you can trap. And I use that for the low voltage that you saw on the scene. Hope that helps. And here we go, putting it together. Well, that's it. I've got the carpets back in. I've got the fuse box cover back on. Before you do that, you should probably do what I do. Hop in, turn on the key, and check all the features of the system work. I used Android Auto, I used the GPS, I used my music streaming, I used all the buttons here in the remote control unit. You can see with the USB charge point that we put in is sitting here glowing nicely. You made sure all the joystick controls worked. I toggled the screen. So that's the original stuff. There's the front parking camera feed. And then if you use the Kenwood button, I can change and see the left and right views. There's the overall widescreen view, and there's the forward view, and then here's the bird's eye view. So all that's working, and I started the car, shifted into reverse just to make sure the reverse camera was working. So I tried all my buttons, my sport button, my traction control, locks, trunk release, all the shift buttons. Now's the time just to make sure that everything you've had apart works before we get on to the next step of buttoning it up, which is the next step. So I'm going to go in the next video. You're going to see me refitting the ski slope. It'll have the new glass buttons, and I'll get it connected up to the new screen. After that, probably the next video in the series is going to be putting back the rear center console, and we'll be good to go from there. I'm almost back on the road. So hope this video has been helping you out. Down here, you're going to find a link to the companion blog article where I'm having links to all the different products and tools and specs and things I've been using on the project. Up here, you're going to find the next video, which will certainly be reinstalling the ski slope. And if you like to get automatically notified when those new videos come out, please go ahead and subscribe. And as always, I love to hear your comments. Please leave those down below. Thanks for watching.